Hello, everybody, and welcome to another Law Replays League of Legends vodcast. My name is Black Knight of Ea. You can call me Andy, and today I'm all by my lonesome, but I'm really happy to cast Invitational here. And this is just kind of a for fun thing that we are starting to do. We used to do a lot of these 4v4s back before we had replays and way before Spectator. It kind of went out of fashion just because people get tired of playing 4v4, but we're really happy to bring it back with the introduction of Spectator. And I mean, this will happen weekly, and if you enjoy the cast, I encourage you to show up and come play. It's every Sunday. It depends on the time, just check the forums. But here, of course, we have Team 1, the blue team with Jungle Scion, Graves and Janna bot lane, and we have a Malzahar mid and a Nasus top. Now, that's a very interesting team composition because, well, not composition, just the players wise, because all of these players I'm familiar with. Jazzhead is a very good player who often jungles, and Jungle Scion is something that's not often seen. And of course, against that, we have Morgana, Sona, Aurelia, Lee Sin, and Tristana. And as far as team versus team goes, it's pretty balanced. You have a lot of anti-CC. The bottom team, the purple team, has a lot of short cooldown CC, a lot of 2-second stuns, a lot of slows, knockups from Janna, whereas the other team has just as much CC, but it's a lot more AoE, a lot more team setup-wise. So team fights are going to be very interesting. It's going to come down to who sets up. But of course, before that, we have lanes, and we have Nasus versus Aurelia top lane, with Nasus starting out with a, let's see, as I make my UI bigger, he has a Doran shield, which is an interesting pickup for Nasus. Lots of people like to go either with boots or regrowth pendant or something with some health, and we have a gank going on right here, level 2 gank. And he does some damage, forces him back. That's going to give Aurelia an edge in that lane, but he doesn't manage to kill him, and Nasus is definitely someone that's pretty content to be pushed into his turret and farm his siphoning strike. And in mid, we have Malzahar versus Morgana, and here comes Lee Sin again. And that there, ladies and gentlemen, on Lee Sin, Hamademian is your LoL Replays administrator. Misses his Q. What a scrub. Everybody make fun of your admin. And bot lane, we have Graves, Janna versus Sona and Tristana, which is going to be a very interesting lane because Graves and Janna is very inherently bursty, and what they're going to do in that lane is they're going to really work on Graves getting his Q off, and they will outburst them by far. Like, the Graves Janna composition does way more damage than Tristana Sona. However, Sona has a heal, Janna does not, and so it comes down to the support play. Like, whichever support is a better player is actually who's going to win this lane. Because if Janna manages to negate damage with her shield, since she doesn't have a slow, or a heal that is, as you could see right there, she missed the shield before the damage was off. If she can protect him from damage, then Graves will win that lane. Otherwise, heals will obviously win the war of attrition. And we have Lee Sin taking his blue, finally. He might give this up. I don't see pings. I'm not actually sure if Spectator shows pings right now. I think it does. So, nope, he took it himself. And as far as creep score, the jungler versus jungler, that is Scion, who has not ganked at all, has 12 CS versus the Lee Sin, who has ganked twice and has just as much farm. So we're seeing Lee Sin having way more of an impact right now than Scion. That might end because Scion obviously has more of a shock and awe approach to ganking. He has the stun and lots of damage. Oh, here comes some counter jungling. He knows it's there. I'm going to say that first blood's going to happen here. Scion's shield is down. This is an easy Q. Here comes first blood. Good job. That is your administrator. He gets red buff and the kill. Very good job. Malzahar is circling around. It's level 4 versus level 4 with buffs. Lee Sin can win this. Here comes Morgana and Janna. Oh my gosh, and the creep takes the Dark Binding. Lee Sin taking tons of damage, but he's going to walk out a happy man. Double buff and first blood. That's gold only on him, no assists there, so the jungling is going to become pretty lopsided here if Lee Sin continues to be aggressive and invade. Taking another quick look at creep score bot lane, because it's the most interesting thing to talk about in the world. We have 24 on Graves and 29 on Tristana, so it's very close. And as you can see, there are way more creeps in lane for Graves to kill. So like it's fairly safe to say that Graves is slightly ahead right now because he's got more of the creeps on the field, even though Tristana's score is slightly higher. We have Scion ganking Aurelia. He's only level 4. This might end in a kill. Very little coordination. Nasus doesn't want to pay attention. That's unfortunate. He's going to walk away. Oh my gosh, that's a huge mistake from Aurelia. That was a panic flash. He didn't need to do that. There's no damage at all that could have gone off on him. He was far enough away. He was safe. So, a somewhat successful gank for Scion and Nasus, even though it really shouldn't have been. That's just misplayed by Aurelia. And just looking back to lanes, and my favorite thing to talk about, creep score. We have Lee Sin versus Scion. Scion is being way too aggressive. I don't know what he thinks he is. He's going to die right here to Aurelia. Or he might not. Oh, he gets saved, but he is playing way too aggressive. There's no reason for him to try and invade Lee Sin when he's behind. There are going to be no deaths here. Misbinding. It was close. But exciting events here. And I'm thinking we might see a dive on Nasus since Morgana's still hugging up there. But it is warded, so he's probably safe. Very aggressive play from Lee Sin. Alright, and of course the creep score for mid is 29 on Malzahar to 35 with Morgana. That's something that is pretty... You'll see fairly often Morgana leading her lane in creep score. She can farm much more efficiently than almost any carry. Just level your Tormented Soil. Most players play like that. That seems to be how Sebas GR there. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. I play with him every day, so you'd think I could say his name, but there he goes. Tormented Soil. Farming away. High skill champion. And we have a Scion gank bottom. There's no ward. He can see it. He's pinging. Here comes it in. Sona can die here, definitely. Sona should die unless it's misplayed. Kamizad not... Oh, there it goes. There is the kill. Good job from them. Good. What you see there is something that defines good players, and it's how you layer your CC. As you could see, Janna had the free CC of her knockup, which is a skill shot, and it's delayed, and she waited to layer that on top of the Scion stun, which guaranteed the kill, instead of, just reactively attacking it. And you also, if you glance into the jungle, you see Malzahar and Nasus trying to defend their blue from an invading Lee Sin and Morgana. It's warded, which blue team can't see, but I think that if Scion goes to his blue, he's going to have company, but he's stealing experience from his mid. That's a good play from him. Actually, it's a pretty bad play. It's warded. He's not going to get this gank off. Both teams have 2 wards on the map, all on the top side of the lane. You think by now that you would have wards bottom, and there Sona does finally put one down. So pretty equal vision, and there is another ward there that Hammondemian is sitting on. Lots of poking. He sees them coming. He's not going to die. Something that I really don't like to see is mid mages who walk around the map a lot. Like, they're trying to gank, they're trying to make stuff happen for their team, but Malzahar top just means that Morgana is going to get more farm. She's 15 ahead of Malzahar, and she's pushed a turret. Like, if you want to leave your lane as a mid or as a top, then you want your lane to be pushed in here. We see that ward coming into play. They know he's doing blue. They're pushing him off of it. Neither side is really willing to commit to a fight, so Scion just has to farm his wolves. And that little push is definitely helping Lee Sin and the purple team stay ahead jungle-wise, at least in that. If you look at the jungle as kind of a fourth lane, a duel between two people to do their job, then currently purple team definitely has the edge there, but he's finally doing his blue, and Scion has no Madrids. He's very susceptible to a gank, but it doesn't seem like he's going to get ganked. That ward has finally wore out, so he's probably safe. Yeah, he's going to get it. So Purple's still ahead in the jungle slightly, but not by as much. We'll see. I would give these blues away. Both of the junglers should have given their blues away at this point in the game. I don't think either. Yes, Hamademian will give his up, thus proving that he is the better jungler, right? That's how that works. We have pings here. Strong Badge is letting his team know that mid is MIA, but she's back with blue, so she's just going to keep farming here. And that mid, 58 to 67 farm on these two mages. And up top, the farm is Nasus has 59 and Aurelia has 46. So Nasus is coming ahead, and he's playing mainly with his Q. I haven't seen much Spirit Fire from him, so he's going to have a very hard-hitting Q very shortly. And of course, the bot lane, the carries, we have 68 CS on Tristana to 68 on Graves. So despite the potential to have an early lead in CS, they're dead tied right now. But of course, there has been a kill on Tristana, so a slight edge can be given to blue in lane, while purple maintains an edge in jungle. So this is fairly close right now, as close as it can be at 11 minutes and 30 seconds. So very interesting to see what's going to happen. But as a rule, it's been very passive and it's been passive because the jungler has pushed him. Pardon me. The purple jungler has kind of pushed the blue jungler into being passive after early ganks, and so the element to the game that makes it more exciting early, which is pretty much exclusively jungle ganks, has been forced into kind of a jungle versus jungle thing instead of jungles in lane. So that's why you see a little bit passive, but here comes a gank. He's trying to lead with his slow to guarantee the skill shot nuke, but he misses the nuke. They weren't going to kill Nasus, but that was some damage he could have landed. Be a man. Lead with the Q, Lee Sin. Be a man. Come on. Anyway, so bot lane is pushing in a little bit, being quite aggressive, but both supports seem to be keeping their carry alive, and neither side doesn't seem to want to play super aggressively. Of course, we have the ward in the brush. This is a different kind of. Oh, I missed a kill. I missed a dive. Wow. You're going to see Sion die. That was obviously a dive under turret on Morgana from Sion, and Malzahar got the kill, but Lee Sin coming in to even out the score. Solo caster, all alone in the world, missing kills, not a big deal. Damage being put down on that mid turret. Well done. Something that is going to be interesting about this game is I'm fairly certain at this point that there's going to be some team fights going on. Like none of the lanes are winning blatantly, so this is going to come down to jungle control over buffs like Dragon and Baron. It's going to come down to some mid-game team fights, and both teams are very capable of fighting. It's going to come down to which side really initiates first. On the purple team, you have a Morgana Q, you have Sona ult, and both of those are ideal initiation tools, long-ranged instant stuns that hold people down. We have Sion ganking top, maybe going to get a kill. There, she burns Flash. Aurelia burning Flash very quickly this game. Very worried. This might turn into Sion dying because Nasus really has no farm. Yes, Sion is definitely going to die. He's sitting there. I'm not sure what he's trying to accomplish. I think he thought that Nasus had his combo, and he's probably yelling at his friend there. What's happening? Why didn't you help me? And he's like, I've got no mana, bro. Why don't you pay attention? And here we go. Putting lots of pressure on Nasus. 3 people top. Morgana's going back mid. Malzahar versus Morgana here. Do they see each other? They definitely see each other, but nothing's happening. Malzahar wants to help his top lane since he does notice that Nasus has no mana. Obviously a better player than Sion, right? And so we'll see if Nasus goes back. He wanted to ult, but he missed his null zone. Very good warding from Sona, keeping an eye on his timers on his ward. Warded the second his brush ward wore out. Just glancing at the CS again, we see the bot lane breaking into the 100 category. Tristana is ahead by 3, but they're still pretty much dead tied. I'm disappointed in the bot lane because both of these compositions, both units bot lane, are capable of playing much more aggressively than they have been. Like, they're fairly content to trade, just kind of trade CS. I mean, and what you have is you have a carry versus carry mindset, and here comes Malzahar to gank. He's not going to get it because that is warded. He's trying to go around the turret. He's going to run into Lee Sin, probably, or maybe he wants to steal blue. He's in a very bad position. Nobody can see him. He's probably going to die here. It depends what he does. He misses the Q. What is going on? This is very bad position, and Malzahar is bullying 4 people, doesn't care, just backs up. That was intense. That was intense. I think that was... You essentially have Malzahar sitting in the middle of nowhere in between 4 people, and he's scaring all of them. This game has been so passive thus far that any kind of sign of aggression just met with complete passiveness from the enemy team. Kind of funny to watch. And we get a turret. Forced him out of lane. NASA Scion, incredible pushing team. We'll see if this makes this game start having some stuff happen, because not much has happened yet, that's for sure. Not even a dragon attempt. I'm disappointed. Come on, people. Entertain me. We have Lee Sin getting caught. He's probably going to die. Very bad position. Needless flash from Malzahar. That's what you call the excited flash. Premature. You should work on that. You should work on that strong badge. Just to point out the fact that all of the players in this game happen to be fairly close personal friends of mine. Pretty much everybody on both teams have been on some team of mine, either currently or in the past. And so the liberties I take at making fun of them I'm allowed to. Anyway, going back to that bot lane and that farm, because it's really exciting. That's all they're doing. It's farming. Still. It's really disappointing to me, because Graves is supposed to be played really aggressively, especially with a shield. Like, right now he has a shield and he's sitting around. He should just run up to Tristana, or more, a better option, run up to Sona and just start poking her. What you have is you have 2 players, and neither of these combos down bot have any experience together. If the 2 of them, if the 2 teams switch supports, they would be familiar with each other. But I'm guessing that the mindset. Oh, well, I'm talking about bot lane, and we have a gank going on in mid. Nothing happened. Back to bot lane. Anyway. You have 2 carries that are just thinking about carry versus carry combat, and so they're not even bothering to harass the supports. In this event, here comes a gank. There's the stun. Tornado's up. CC stacks. Sona probably is going to save Tristana there. Saves Tristana. They're not going to want to dive. That was a good layering of CC again. Maximum time that they kept Tristana down, but Sona just being able to save her teammate. Very well played. Lee Sin coming in to help defend the turret. They're probably going to get the turret, though. Janice should be up in there, too. Oh, they're going to save the turret. 1 more push is all it will take. But that Graves is fine. He's fine. And, yeah. And looking at mid, you see both of those mages have been roaming around, and so both turrets are at half health, a very even lane in mid. And top, CS-wise, is very close, too, with Nasus having 124 and Aurelia with 100. It's not super close, but obviously Nasus ahead, winning his turret. He got more ganks later on. I mentioned earlier how that purple seemed to be winning the jungle, but his grasp and his influence has definitely kind of lessened. They're definitely more even. Sion's gotten some good ganks off. He got a kill in mid. He got the turret top, which even though he has died more than Lee Sin, yes, he has died 3 times more, 300%. Thank you very much. He is still doing exceptionally well in keeping up, because he has had just as much gold as Lee Sin. having a lot of influence on this game for his team. Oh, let's see here. The bot turret for purple is very low. They should be able to push through it. We have some setting up. This is possibly for Dragon, yes. Blue team wants to do Dragon. Scion can be very aggressive, especially once he has Wriggles with his ultimate. He's very safe, can do buffs very quickly. It looks like they might contest. No. Purple tries to contest with a long-range Morgana, but that's it. But they might be able to fight here. Morgana's low. There you go. You see how quickly the supports drop, and you're going to see Hammy drop. He should not have jumped in there. That's running into an immediate Malzahar ult, and the Dark Binding keeps Morgana and Aurelia alive. But right now, you're going to start to see a snowball because you just see a massive influx of gold. You have 26k team gold for blue to 21.7k gold for purple. And another turret. The gap is widening. You might see Scion die. Nope, nobody's gonna die here. In mid. Yeah, this game is gonna start snowballing pretty hard. Purple team needs a really lucky team fight. Needs blue team to make a mistake for them to come back. Really, what needs to happen for purple to have any shot at winning this is blue has to start making mistakes, and that was one team fight right there. That's all that happened. That was the first kind of breaking of the passive play that has happened thus far. And what it was blue team, and the Scion, to his credit, is looking at the map. He sees Morgana's at half health. He thinks someone's gone. He knows he can do it safely. He knows he's not going to lose health to Dragon. He calls Dragon. His team comes around him. They're already ahead in some gold. They were ahead by about 200 at the time. Then they have the team, and then just the little kind of poke, the little catch, the mistake from Lee Sin to getting caught, and Sona not realizing how many people were around. Some bad awareness from Lee Sin and Sona let them get caught, which really has this deficit. You have a 5,500 deficit here for purple to climb up. What I would really like to see is I want to see blue team to try and bully the other team because they're so far ahead. They don't even really need. They just need to get 3 wards, and I hope that the cast picks up these pings. But they could put a ward there and a ward there and keep that ward. They could force a safe Baron, which would put them massively far ahead. You see some counter warding for blue from Jazzhead on Janna, which is nice, but it's a waste of time for them. Like, you might see a fight here. You're not going to see a fight here. You're going to see people blowing ults over a ward. This is kind of foolish play from purple, and it's something that you see a lot in unorganized play. Graves not going to get caught, almost get caught. But anyway, this is something you see from unorganized play, people that don't know each other, or people that aren't really pushing for objectives. Blue team is so far ahead right now. They should be forcing objectives. They should group up. They should just put some. They should either push mid and just put 1 or 2 peripheral wards so they don't get caught, or they should ward around Baron. They should force that Baron, pull ahead. Right now, they're just kind of content to pretend they're still in the lane phase. The carry and the support essentially keep bouncing out of bottom to do damage, but they're kind of sitting bottom. The mage is still sitting mid, and you still have that Nasa sitting top. This is very silly. This is prolonging the game. It's making it uninteresting for me to watch, and so I'm going to be very critical. I'm pretty sure most of them will watch this too. So, yeah, guys, end the game. Force these objectives. You are literally 6,000 gold ahead. Come on. Anyway, despite my ramblings, you have that bot lane. And Graves is really far ahead, and he's still just last hitting. Let's see if he gets the kill here. We have the Scion. They can kill Sona. Yeah, they'll go for that Sona. Graves doing massive amounts of damage. Graves with almost an Infinity Edge. He's only 200 gold. He definitely has enough gold for his Infinity Edge after that kill. They need to push mid. They have one down. They can do anything they want right now. Within the next 30 seconds, while Sona's down, they are so far ahead. They could pick an objective, group up, do it, and the other team couldn't stop them at all. Here we have a death. Definitely right now. They look to be pushing bot lane, which is good. They'll make some headway here. They're grouping up. They understand that they are far enough ahead that they can just end the game. I hope they can do the next one too. Aurelia's all the way far top, and quite frankly, they can win a team fight under turret. Nasus doesn't seem interested in keeping to push that lane. Maybe going to Baron, maybe doing lane. Maybe they want to recall and buy. Maybe they don't like winning games. I don't know. We'll see. So they're withdrawing. Sion definitely wants to win the game, wants to be aggressive. He gets caught. He gets a lot of damage on him, but he's definitely fine. Really far ahead. And there's Aurelia poking away. So yeah, the half of blue team has no mana, and they can all buy. Looks like they're going to recall. Nasus is just going to sit top and farm. Sion being... There he goes. That's good. That's good play. That's some good ward spots. Hopefully what blue does is they just recall, they buy their items, they get their mana, they go do Baron, then they push mid and win. If this game isn't over in 5 minutes, I'm going to be disappointed. How about you guys? Yeah, I know you will. But just talking about what happened this game, though, is people weren't willing to play, weren't willing to coordinate. Like this whole game really snowballed really hard from that little dragon skirmish with where 2 people on blue team died, and of course Nasus really winning his lane quite hard. So kudos to Nasus. He for a while he was close with Aurelia, but right now he is about 20 CS ahead. That's kind of what he's held the whole game, and he's 2-0-1, and of course the global gold from 3 turrets and a dragon. Yeah, and it's of course 8-3. The deficit now is close to, still hovering around that same area there, and I'm bad at math. That's why I didn't do the math. I'm not even gonna lie. We have awarded dragon. I'm very disappointed. I'm not happy with this team. They recalled, they bought items, and they went to 3 different lanes. They didn't group up. They should end this game. Malzahar wants to end the game, doing his full combo, missing the null zone, so half of his damage is negated by misplay on himself. He can only blame himself. They should do dragon. They should do Baron. By the time that's done, his ult's going to be up, and then they can push and win. Or they can, and any fight they force right now, they're still going to win, despite the fact that his ult's down, because they are, may I remind you, that far ahead. Nasus isn't even here, and they can still win. They're pushing down. I don't know what Nasus is doing. Nasus just took blue and recalled. Tristana's going to die. An ult coming off from Morgana. This was silly for blue team to fight. They might still win. They're going to win. Blue team is going to win this fight. The AoE damage, the AoE silence. That was a perfect silence. An amazing ultimate from Janna saved them there. And here comes Nasus with teleport. Yeah, this game, please push and win. Please. Alright. Watch them kill this turret, guys. And that's 1 siphoning strike. I'm curious to know what Nasus' siphoning strike is at. Unfortunately, I can't. Oh, man. Both teams seem to be lagging. I have had no lag. And again, blue team, you backed off. 2 of them were still dead. You could have killed the next turret. I'm sad. I'm sad. If any of you that are playing in this game happen to watch this video, end your games. This game doesn't... There's no reason for this game to still be going. Come on. Get ruthless. And they're doing Baron. At least they're doing that. At this point in time, Sion seems to want to solo it. He's not getting much help at all. That's kind of funny. Yeah. Walking away, wasting time. It's really hard for me to talk about stuff by myself when one team's so far ahead. Well, so I'm just going to talk about how purple team could possibly win this game. There's almost a 10 okay deficit of gold for them. However, just for those of you that find yourselves in these situations in like a solo queue rank game or similar uncoordinated, and I emphasize uncoordinated matches, if you find yourself in as far and as deep a hole as purple team, the thing to do is to not panic, because blue team is not playing as a unit. All they have to do is group up and act as one unit and just execute turret, and they can win a team fight under turret right now like a breeze. They don't even have to. They can miss half of their damage and still win under turret and kill the turret. There's no reason for them to be prepping Baron. There's no reason for them to be doing anything except going straight for the turrets and ending the game. However, like many games you'll find yourself in, they're not really coordinating. They don't have that level of just executing. And so what you can do is you can wait for them, and maybe a position like this, as you see them camping around Baron. If Lee Sin steals this is a very good chance. Doesn't steal it. Morgana goes in. He's ulting off. He's going to get a great ult. Doesn't have his team anywhere near. He's going to die. That was actually a decent opportunity for Purple to kind of win the game, because that was an amazing ultimate from Morgana. That's something that they might have been able to do some damage on. And Lee Sin getting out of the ultimate, very lucky. He's still going to die. This game's over. An unfortunate, a hard loss for blue team. It's always sad to find yourself in those games where you just kind of find yourself going back and forth in the lane phase, and then all of a sudden one fight on Dragon at 15 minutes kind of seals the deal, which is what happened this game, and you see that happen a lot. Let's see, they seem to be grouping up. They want to end the game as 4 instead of getting all of the turrets. That's good. Oh, Sona wasn't even here. That's unfortunate. Sona's presence really wouldn't have made that big of a difference, so as unfortunate as it is, she played her part when she could, but it was too late by the time her problems kicked her. As far as I know, she might have had terrible lag, and that's why she died at Dragon. Lots of damage going down. Crazy burst from Malzahar, crazy burst from Graves. They're both fairly full items. You have a Malzahar with Rabadons and Rod of Ages and Sork Boots, and you have Graves with an Infinity Edge of Wriggles and Zeal, quite a bit of crit, quite a bit of lifesteal. This game's over. So yeah, if you ever find yourselves in the situation that purple team is, the thing to do is to just sit at your turret and hope the other team makes a mistake, which purple team didn't. You could say that they made a mistake by not ending the game sooner, but they, of course, still won. So, but sometimes you'll find people get too cocky and they'll throw themselves and try and dive without their full team under turret, or fight 4v5, which we did see. We saw the blue team try and fight 4v5. They managed to win it though, because there was not enough commit. But that was a good game, and end game's faster, guys. And on that note, I'm BlacknighofEA. You can call me Andy for lawreplays.org. I'll see you next time.